Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white, official weight, 226 1/2 pounds. Professional record, 41 victories, including 24 knockouts, with 3 defeats and 2 bouts even. From Cincinnati, Ohio, the former NABO and WBC America's champion, Larry the Legend Donald. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing purple, official weight, 215 1/2 pounds. Professional record, 38 victories, including 25 knockouts, with 7 defeats and 2 draws. From Atlanta, Georgia, presenting the 4-time heavyweight champion of the world, Evander Real Deal Holyfield.
I want everybody out the ring. Guys, just a chief second. Just a chief second, please. Just a chief second. Okay, gentlemen, we went over the rules. Want a good, clean fight? Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch them up. Good luck to both of you.
Evander Holyfield said he would retire if he ever was beaten up. James Toney beat him up. Here he is.
Gotta respect the heart.
Over the course of the past 7 years, Evander Holyfield has a questionable win over Vaughn Bean, a loss and a draw with Lennox Lewis, a loss, a draw, and 1 win against John Ruiz, a technical win against Hasim Rahman, a decision loss to Chris Bird, a knockout loss to James Toney, and he's still even money in this fight against Larry Donald, who's 41-3.
Because he never stops. He will not give up. You're going to have to beat him if you beat him.
Finally, the opening round bell, and Evander Holyfield told us in the meeting yesterday that he wanted to make an impression in the first couple of rounds, show some fire, show some speed, and try to back Donald off of him.
Step back clean. Box.
For his part, Larry Donald said, I just have to box. I have to stay within my envelope, box as well as I know how to box, and I ought to be able to outbox Evander.
It won't be quite that easy, I don't think, but at least he does seem to be content to fight tonight.
Yeah, Donald has had some moments, and that's a slip, not a knockdown. Donald has had some moments where he looked timid in there, but this first round isn't one of them so far.
Yeah, he looks like he's coming to fight for real tonight.
Combination by Donald, finished with a pretty good left hook. Sticks the jab back in Holyfield's face twice. Holyfield lunging in to get to Donald's body.
Step back. Keep your punches in front. Keep them in front.
At his height, Evander Holyfield would duck or slip your first punch and then hit you back twice. Now, too often, he takes that first punch.
Yeah, he does, but that's what happens when you're getting a little bit older. He looks good for his age right here tonight.
Pretty energetic first 2 minutes of the fight for both fighters.
Back. Let him out. Box.
Left hook to the chest by Holyfield, back Donald up. And Donald catches Holyfield with a left coming in.
Donald standing his ground, which he usually doesn't do, throwing right hands, which he is usually reluctant to do, tells you what he thinks of Holyfield tonight.
And so far, Holyfield hasn't been able to make him pay a price for it in any way. Hard right hand by Larry Donald, and now he ties Holyfield up as Evander leans in. Donald, for the moment, beating Holyfield to the punch, fighting the fight he would like to fight.
Cameraman, I can't see.
Hey, what a bucket, son.
I can't see. Whatever side you do, I can't see. I gotta be able to see.
Why you do go to the right?
Okay.
I think they step over.
I gotta be able to see.
You see how when you move to the right, you swing on the miss?
All right.
You fall down?
I'll talk to someone in the commission.
Him a little bit, feint him, okay? And look, you can hit this guy with right hands and left hooks all day, but you gotta get close with the jab, okay? Step it in just a little bit more, okay?
Just like them pants.
So everything look good. Now sit down more, okay? Don't bounce so much. Okay, when they get inside, let's start working a little bit more on the inside, okay? Look, as soon as you get inside, let him hold.
Right here you see Donald start with his left jab and bring a right hand straight behind it. Holyfield wasn't looking for the right hand off of the jab by Donald. That was a good 1-2 combination.
Statistically a good round for Larry Donald. CompuBox numbers find him 14 out of 57, including 7 out of 19 power shots. Holyfield 11 out of 37 for himself, but 8 of those lands were jabs. In the wake of the loss to James Toney, Evander Holyfield is without longtime trainer Don Turner. Turner said for his part, he felt that Evander should hang him up. Evander said, if you don't have confidence in me, I need another trainer. And he's got Ronnie Shields, who worked with him way back at the beginning of his career in tandem with George Benton and Lou Duva. Manager Jim Thomas is gone too. This is one thing that happens to older fighters, Roy Jones. The people around you start to vacate.
Yeah, sometimes those people don't understand what your motives are. And it's not for them to understand because it's your life and you're the one out there. And Evander has done so much for this game that I would be the last person to tell him he should quit.
Yeah, but they're the first people who are supposed to tell the fighter when to quit. And of course, he considered that negative and got rid of them.
Step back clean.
You can't pull in 2 directions at the same time and go anywhere.
It's kind of interesting that Larry Donald now has a what appears to be a yellow piece of gaffer's tape on his back. In the middle of the back. About the same spot where there was a box on the back of one of the presidential... Oh, never mind. That's over with, isn't it?
Yeah, that's over with.
Maybe somebody telling him in there to throw the right hand.
Exactly. Lead with your left, then follow with the right.
And the one thing we can't forget here either, although Evander is 42, Larry is 37. 37 is not young either.
Yeah, but if you look at the heavyweight division, it's sort of the new 28. Larry's fond of saying 30 is the new 25. In the heavyweight division, maybe 35 is the new 25. I mean, Cali Meehan is 34, and he's regarded as a prospect here.
You're right. And Donald doesn't look 37 out here.
Not the way he's fighting right now. But this could change. Question might be, though, if the rhythm of the fight goes Donald's way and he remains confident in his boxing, what adjustment could Evander make?
Well, Evander would just have to keep trying to put the pressure on him.
And might have to pay some price to do it.
Well, he's doing that anyway, so why not?
Yeah, but he wants to counter punch, he indicated. And but Larry Donald is just beating him to the punch so much he can't counter.
So far, it's working perfectly for Donald. Boxing behind his jab, throwing the right hand freely, and keeping Holyfield at the end of his stick. Mark your calendars for these upcoming boxing telecasts. Next Saturday night, November 20, World Championship Boxing returns as Winky Wright and Shane Mosley square off in the rematch of their fight last March when Winky won the 154-pound title after his long search. November 27, HBO pay-per-view brings you Eric Morales versus Marco Antonio Barrera for the 3rd time. Each has won once in classic fights. Here comes the rubber match. December 4, middleweight rising star Jermaine Taylor takes on former 160-pound titleist William Joppy on Boxing After Dark. December 11 on HBO pay-per-view. Vitaly Klitschko puts his heavyweight title on the line against Englishman Danny Williams, who recently knocked out Mike Tyson. And December 18, live on HBO, it's Antonio Tarver taking on Glenn Johnson in a matchup of the two fighters who have scored knockout wins over Roy Jones this year, that for the light heavyweight championship of the world. Total in round 2, Holyfield dropping to only 25 punches thrown. Donald about the same numbers as in round 1, 14 out of 53.
Good hook by
Good hook.
Very good hook by Evander. He gambled in, which is what he's going to have to do more of if he's expecting to win this fight.
And that time he managed to beat Donald to a punch, and he lands a huge right hand and a big left hook, and Donald momentarily stunned, I think, by the right. And now Larry comes back, showing some grit.
He's not backing off like he normally would.
I think Larry Donald understands now that this is his last hurrah too, and an opportunity to make some kind of a statement, even if it's against an old lion in the winter of his career.
Step back clean. Step back. Keep him up, kid.
Another combination for Donald.
As long as Larry keeps getting off first like that, he's going to stay ahead of Evander. But he can't afford to keep gambling with Evander like that.
There's Holyfield again trying to counter, as you saw there, and maybe he's getting just a little quicker at countering Donald's lead.
Yeah, he's starting to time Donald's punches more. Excellent jab by Larry.
Ever since Holyfield's fight with Michael Moore in 1984, you've seen this pattern. 20 or 25 seconds of aggressive activity and effective punching followed by a long lull. It happens over and over, despite the apparent brilliant conditioning of the 42-year-old fighter.
You meant 94, Jim. Just a little bit of an edit there.
Step back clean.
Body shot by Holyfield. A little bit better round for Evander here, particularly with the good start.
Don't grab behind the neck. Don't
That
grab.
was a good right hand counter by Larry Donald. There's that 1-2 again.
Donald is not varying from his pattern of showing the nerve, the will, and the courage to stand in and fight with Evander Holyfield and using his boxing skills.
Step back clean. Step back. Step out. Step back. Box. Time.
There are 48 scheduled rounds of fights here tonight. We got the first 3 in the books. You might see 45 more.
You understand me? Now listen, you have to jump right on top of this man. This man can't be. I'm telling you, you can hurt this man. You understand? But you're sitting there, you're waiting on one shot. We're not in his. We're not trained to wait on one shot. Right. Okay? We trained to take the lead on this man. You understand?
Just shoot your right hand, then your left hook. Just keep going around. All right? Be first, all right? Be first. Don't be standing there. Go to reset. He go. Breathe. Best jab in the fifth. Breathe. Okay, you're doing good, but you just gotta let your arms move a little more.
I off my chest, man.
Just hit him a little more, right? Bang, 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 a little more. Pick it up a little bit now. Okay. Start picking it up, all right? And as the rounds go, we keep picking it up. Come on, let's go. Go, Larry!
Larry Donald is being trained for the first time tonight by a trainer named Colin Morgan. Colin Morgan also works with a heavyweight named Wayne Llewellyn. He says that he has focused on improving Larry Donald's speed and quickness, but obviously he's also helped him to achieve a pretty good plan for what to do in this fight. More on Holyfield's trainer Ronnie Shields in a moment. Meanwhile, Harold, how do you have it scored through 3?
Okay, Jim. Yeah, I'll tell you something. I don't know how you can score a fight for a guy that just doesn't get off. And Evander Holyfield on my scorecard hasn't pulled the trigger. He just doesn't let go of enough punches. 3-0, 30-27, Larry Donald. He's just jabbing him to death, dropping the right hand and snapping his head back with that good left jab.
And it's a good left hand by Holyfield that backed Donald off. What Holyfield gets done, he's mostly doing one punch at a time. Donald far more frequently has landed effective combinations.
Don't hold him behind the head. Watch your head coming in.
For his part, Ronnie Shields, taking over for Evander Holyfield as trainer, told us that he feels like Evander hasn't done the right kind of the work in the gym for several years. Holyfield said that he had, in some instances, sparred only 10 or 15 rounds to get ready for fights. Apparently, previous trainer Don Turner felt it was best to avoid wear and tear. Shields' point is, if you're going to fight, you can't baby yourself in the gym, and he had Holyfield train far harder, sparring 50-plus rounds for this fight. Your thoughts, Roy?
Well, I can understand why Don Turner would back off from Holyfield a little bit, because Holyfield is a little older, and as you see, Holyfield's body starting to wear right now in this fight. And if Larry can keep this pressure up, it will wear on him. So I understand Don Turner's point, but I also understand that you can't baby yourself. And maybe he should do other things for his conditioning, because you never saw Holyfield go down to a body shot before until his last fight.
James Toney.
And right now, Holyfield is starting to look 44 years old.
Absolutely. He appears to be slowing down again here in the fourth round, and Donald's confidence, so often non-existent, appears to be surging here.
And not to say that Evander is not one of the best at playing possum now, because he is. But Donald is doing a smart thing by going to the body, because when you fight an older fighter, you automatically know you want to go to his body to try to drain him.
Step out.
Good body shot by Evander.
Behind the head.
Right hand lead to the stomach.
So far, as Muhammad Ali used to say, the coffee is old and cold. Can Evander Holyfield heat it up?
In our next fight, the enigmatic Hasim Rahman, who also has a new trainer, as usual, will be fighting against emerging New Zealander Ali Meehan. Meehan lives in Australia, originally from New Zealand. He has a Fijian mother and emerged in a showcase against Lehman Brewster a few months back, a fight that Brewster won while hanging on for dear life. Rahman probably has worked harder in the 30 seconds you've watched him here than was the case in months of preparation for some of his fights.
By his own admission.
And his trainer is Thel Torrance, the ultra-quiet, ultra-civilized, ultra-gentlemanly Thel Torrance. I mean, Thel Torrance knows a ton of boxing. He worked with Eddie Futch. But you wonder how such a non-demonstrative man can push a guy who needs pushing in Rahman. It'll be interesting to see. Round 5 begins between Larry Donald and Evander Holyfield. Donald with a right hand, trying to put Holyfield back in a discouraged mood.
Holyfield looking to land one punch that can make a difference in the fight. But he was never a one-punch puncher, Roy.
No, he wasn't, but at his age, you have to remember now, he's not going to outbox many guys now. He's not going to throw more punches than the younger guys too much now. So he has to gamble and go for knockouts.
Good luck. He hasn't had a legitimate knockout since his knockout of Michael Moorer 7 years ago. The only fight in the 7 intervening years that's been stopped in his favor short of the distance was the technical win over Rahman when Rahman's head swelled up like a basketball.
Not that I'm saying that's the right thing to do. I'm just saying that's all he has. That's his chance right now.
It's just an insight into the fantasy land in which he currently is living.
Exactly. And I wouldn't call it fantasy, because if he has the heart and the will, and you know he's a very spiritual and very faithful man, where there's a will, there is a way.
All right. I think the notion that he's going to knock out good heavyweights at this point may turn out to be a fantasy.
Yeah, but I think if he was going to fight for the title, I wouldn't fight Larry Donald. I would have fought Chris Bird first.
Well,
he fought Chris Bird in Atlantic City and got beat.
Well, I mean, he got beat, but now at least he knows how to go back and regroup.
That's a good point. And the Chris Bird that he'd be fighting now might have significantly less movement and reflexes than the one of 2.5 years ago.
Has slowed a lot himself. So
yeah,
He might beat Holyfield 12 rounds out of 12 next time instead of 10.
that was a good right hand by Evander.
one punch at a time. Again, Donald's advantage in the fight so far is that he's been able to land combinations from time to time.
And we know Donald as a boxer, so if you're Evander Holyfield, you're not going to try to outbox the boxer. You're going to try to knock him out or discourage him.
Well, if that's the case, then it's probably better for Evander that Donald is fighting aggressively and standing in.
It is.
And creating opportunities.
That's what Evander needs. That's his only chance. If Donald was to box him and move around, see like that right there. That shot can knock Donald down in a couple more rounds if he continues to hit him with it. If he continues to hit him with that knee.
And he might. This goes to the point you made before the fight when you said Evander will be explosive.
Oh, he's going to be explosive in every fight you see him in. Whether it be for 2 seconds or 25 seconds, he's going to be explosive.
Even when he's fighting in the Masters division past age 50?
Yes, because he is the real deal. He didn't earn that name. Nobody gave him that name. He earned that.
Absolutely.
Look, if you stay busy with this man, I promise you, you will knock this guy out. You understand? But you got to stay busy with this man. You're giving this man too much confidence. You understand? This man's confidence is sky high. But you're sitting there, you're waiting on one shot. One shot is not going to beat this guy. You understand? Yeah. Jab him in the chest. Keep jabbing him in the chest. You throw coming, then you get... Okay? Good. Go. I'm cool. Good. I know you're cool.
He getting soft, Larry.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Just want you to keep your hands going. Don't go to sleep and wait for him to do anything. If you're doing it, you just keep doing it. As long as you're working and you're hitting him, keep hitting him. Don't stop and wait for him to try to hit you. All right? Come on. Pick it up this strong. More punches this strong.
I guarantee you that what Holyfield is thinking right now is, I've got Donald where I want him.
I guarantee he is too.
He's getting cocky. He's there for me to hit. I'm going to get him.
CompuBox numbers weigh heavily in Donald's favor so far. Holyfield's only averaging 9 power shots thrown per round, only throwing 25 total punches per round. Larry Donald is averaging 27 power shots thrown per round. In other words, he throws more power shots than Holyfield does punches, and Holyfield's mostly thrown jabs. So that's part of why Ronnie Shields was yelling, be busier, throw more punches, put more pressure on him.
Yep, and as you see right here, he's not going to outbox Donald, because Donald has the quicker hands. He has the outside box. Yes, exactly.
Body shot by Donald drives Holyfield into the ropes. He hits him with a right hand as well. And another left to the body. Good flurry by Larry Donald. And this is part of the reason that Shields was screaming at Evander not to give Donald so much confidence.
Yeah, but Donald's waiting, and he's giving Evander confidence by waiting because he lets Evander recuperate. And Evander's going to set one of those traps. It's going to be deadly for him if you don't watch it.
Yeah, you could almost feel Donald as he evaluated what had happened in that flurry against the ropes and then just thought to himself, well, I'll leave well enough alone right now.
You can't do that with Evander.
There's another good left hand inside by Donald as Evander was starting to come in. Larry Donald is letting his hands go tonight. That hasn't always been the case.
Nope, you have to give him credit. He's making an improvement.
Step out clean, let him out. Step back, box.
Now Donald paints Holyfield with a straight right hand lead.
Watch your head.
Yeah, that's there for him all night because Evander's hands are a little low, and Donald's taller, and he has quicker hands than Holyfield.
Well, and when he lets a straight right-hand lead go like that, he's saying to Holyfield, I'm not even worried about your counter left hook anymore.
No.
And if you're not worried about Evander Holyfield's counter left hook, you're just not worried about it, frankly. Now, that might be the smartest idea, but right now, Donald is feeling his oats. And Holyfield goes back to his corner very slowly.
Digging yourself a big hole, baby. You done dug yourself a big old hole. Now, you understand me? Listen, come on, now look. Now you gotta go for it. You understand? We cannot wait on this man anymore.
It's your choice, man. Get knocked near your face. You're gonna end up getting a swelling. Stay away from that. Stay on the outside, all right? Okay?
Right here you see the advantage Donald has with the quick hands. He's killing him with a jab. He's doing what you call pop shot. He's not getting too many shots, just 1 or 2 here and there. Throwing the quick hands, quick right hand leads, coming back with a left hook and an occasional right hand after the uppercut or the hook. But the jab and the straight right lead is really what's doing the damage to Evander.
Donald looks more relaxed and confident right now than he did in the fighter meeting yesterday. And there was nobody in our group who was going to hit him.
Now Evander's wearing the same yellow tape.
In round 6, Evander Holyfield only threw 14 punches and only landed 3, and Larry Donald was 20 out of 48. That was a mismatch round. Harold, how do you have it so far?
Okay, Jim. 6-0, 60-54. Larry Donald. Jim, I got to tell you something. In round 6, Larry Donald started to put 2 and 3 punch combinations together, just as Roy Jones said. I mean, it's not only one punch, it's a left jab, a right hand, and followed by a left hook. I mean, the guy is just doing all the fighting. Evander Holyfield's still not getting off.
Holyfield lunges in and lands 1 right hand. Busted the sweat off of Donald's head. And now another right hand over the top. And suddenly he found something with that looping right hand.
And it don't take many of those to chop a tree down.
Nope.
But now he's tired. This is when Donald has to attack.
So Holyfield twice threw the punch that Vaughn Bean used to bedevil him. Yes. That overhand right, it's sneaky.
But now he's tired. Took a lot out of Evander. See, he's trying to get rest now. And Donald's smart because he's not letting Evander rest.
Well, I think part of their plan was they know that Holyfield only fights a limited amount of time, and to make him fight when he doesn't want to fight.
Step back. Let him out, let's go, let him out.
Good right hand counter by Evander. Those are the traps that I'm talking about him setting.
He's had a couple of moments in this round.
Yeah, but you know, Roy, he compares himself to George Foreman, who was 42 when Holyfield fought him. But George Foreman had the hammer. He had the big punch that he could set a trap, that he could hurt a guy like a Donald. And Evander just, I mean, his style all those years was simply to overwhelm his opponents.
To outwork them.
And outwork them.
Yeah. And that's what the problem with this age. When you battle against age, it's harder to outwork them.
Foreman also had that steel cage defense and an ultra-relaxed style that meant that when he sought rest in the ring, he was actually resting, you know?
Yep.
It's more difficult for other fighters.
Yes, it is.
Come on, let's go, step back.
Foreman's punch is about as big as Evander's heart. And both of those are tremendous.
Yes. World class.
Yes.
But even despite the great heart and everything that Evander has meant and accomplished, and I mentioned he might be called the most significant fighter of the last 20 years, the way he supported the sport, could there be a single soul out there in our audience tonight who's saying, yeah, this is a good idea. He should keep fighting until he wins all the belts.
You know what I mean?
It's just hard to fathom.
Yeah, it's hard to fathom. And me being a boxer, you know, I'm the last one to say it, but I really don't like seeing him in here.
Yeah, it sounds delusional.
Open on his body. Wait, watch that. All right? He ain't doing nothing. He's waiting on you. And you just waiting. Don't wait. Just beat him, man.
Okay.
He ain't doing nothing. Just keep bang, bang. Just turn him. Don't get no clinch. You need a clinch with this guy. All right? beat him up.
Yeah, when you get close, just let both hands go. You understand? The guys, you think he's brave now. You understand? Now you can hit him. But you got to step behind the jab. When you get close, let both hands go with the man. Okay?
Whatever's bothering you, you got to work to overcome it.
Come on, man.
You got to work that your whole life. Work to overcome it.
All right,
work to overcome it.
Now, let's go.
Work, Holy. You got to.
Come on.
Well, you saw the CompuBox number profile that showed how many more punches Larry Donald is throwing than Evander Holyfield, and how Holyfield's punch output has declined over the course of the fight. And now ring doctors are standing in Holyfield's corner and watching carefully between rounds, even though Evander doesn't seem badly hurt.
And my thing, he's not badly hurt. And my thing is, even if he came back and won this fight by knockout, still, to go through what he has to go through here, I don't like it for Evander, because he's been too good to the sport to let the sport abuse him at the end.
And it's humiliating. I mean, it's just humiliating to see a guy who was so great, who achieved so far beyond what anybody predicted for him in the sport when he came out of the Olympics in 1984, putting himself through this.
Yeah, but you can't say it's humiliating, Jim, because that same heart that he used to astonish us all these years is why he's still in there. It's still just is another implication of the heart Evander Holyfield has.
Yeah. He couldn't go out any other way.
Exactly. And you can't get mad at him for that.
Wait, let him out. Step back.
He's gotten caught with the same right hand over and over and over again tonight. That's when you know it's about time to close shop.
Watch your head coming in. Watch your head.
He doesn't even care about the right hand anymore. Good
I remember in
body shot,
1977 watching Larry Holmes badly beat up Muhammad Ali and thinking, this is the end of my youth.
Well,
somewhere tonight there's a kid who's been watching Evander Holyfield for 20 years.
Most of the great most of the great heavyweight champions have gone out this way.
Yep.
Ali losing to Trevor Burbett, Larry Holmes fighting until the age of Viagra, and on back through history, Joe Louis, and so on.
Understand, though, it's the heart that makes us know and love these people. That's what brings them back in the ring at these ages.
You're exactly right, Roy. But there's something else, too. I mean, some of them love the competition and being on stage, and for others, it's the money, whether they need it or whether they want more of it.
Right.
You know, as Ali once said, nobody tells David Rockefeller to stop wanting to make more money.
Nope.
What's Viagra? Oh, never mind. Round 8 coming to a close, and the fight hasn't changed.
Off his neck. Get off his neck. Step back.
Larry, if you be consistent for one round straight, this fight gonna be over. He ain't doing nothing. You just beat him up. But you let him catch, you let him take a break. Don't take a break. Just push it for one round, son. You can't do that. How you tired? You're not tired, right? You're in great shape. So push it for one round. Just keep banging it for one round. Open the water. Suck it out.
Now, you understand?
You got to go to work.
Okay, now you know this, right? Okay, look. Evander keeps jabbing him in the chest, stepping up. And when you get close, fire the punches. Let both hands go. Okay? You did it in the gym, you got to do it here now. Okay, this is where it's at.
Throw your combinations.
Come on, baby, let's go. You got to go to work now.
Nothing but combinations.
Give me a deep breath. Come on, baby.
Double jabs. I've always worked for you. Double jabs.
Back.
Cut man Jimmy Strickland, conditioning coach Tim Hallmark, trainer Ronnie Shields, all trying to get in a word or two to encourage the aging warrior. Holyfield threw 15 punches in the 8th round. Larry Donald threw 59. Donald landed 29-5 for Evander. It is becoming a mismatch.
Yep. And they have to remember, this is the same young Holyfield that they used to train. Goodness, that was a good right hand by Donald.
James Toney was one thing. James Toney's a fighter of enormous skill and falls out bravado. That does not describe Larry Donald. And he's beating Evander Holyfield up right now. Good body shot by Holyfield. One punch. The request for combinations probably won't be answered tonight.
Maybe the worst thing that could happen to Holyfield is for somehow to have him pull this fight out and have him fight on for another 2 or 3 years.
Come out, let's go.
Left hook, wobbled Holyfield. He managed to stay up. Donald isn't a huge puncher.
I think it was a loss of balance, but even that is a sign of his losing the spring in his legs.
Let him go.
Like I said back in round 3, he's starting to look his age tonight.
He's been looking his age for a long time, right?
And tomorrow he'll be older.
Still got to admire the heart, though, because he's not giving up. There are a lot of fighters who lay down, who give up, and he's not doing either of the two. So he's still going to always be a warrior in my book.
He'll always have that. And he'll never be anything but totally admired for it. It's his wisdom that's at stake right now.
Yep.
Hey, step back, step back.
Oh, good shot by Evander.
Hard right hand to the body, backs Donald up.
Now, that was to the head, actually.
And Donald's mind changes for a moment as a result of that punch.
Right hand.
That'll keep Evander going. That's like the one great 5-iron that you hit in the horrible round. And let's go to Cali Meehan's dressing room to take a look at the fighter who will be fighting Hasim Rahman in our next fight. He's big. 6'5", 240 or so. Laboring in the vineyards for many years in Australia and New Zealand. You'd call him a journeyman, except that the journey from Surfer's Paradise to Sydney is about as far as he's gone.
You need a knockout, you got to knock this man out. But you can't do it with one punch. You got to step in behind your jab. Okay?
Get up close and work that jab.
And just let both hands go.
Hit him on the arm, hit him on. You don't have time to do it.
When you're in close in the clinch, push him back.
Deep breath.
And you
He used to Evander do his favorite thing, which is come off of your right hand and counter with the overhand, right? That's one of his favorite all-time career moves, and just landing that one big punch makes Evander still think that he has a chance to win this fight. Trust me.
Now, you sat down and dined with Evander 2 or 3 times talking to him about whether the two of you should fight, right?
Right.
But it never came up, huh?
No, because he didn't want to do it then. And then once he decided he wanted to do it, at that point he was at the end of his career. I don't want to be out there like Larry because I didn't need that at the time to help boost my career. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to fight. He hurt Larry. He hurt Larry. That's what I'm talking about.
Right hand over the top.
Yes, he hurt Larry bad. That's why I mean when I say it's his only chance is to gamble. That was a shot that hurt Larry. And that's why he thinks he has a chance to win the fight. Larry's still hurt. And one more good overhand right and Larry will go down.
Let's see what Holyfield has left now after having created an opportunity for himself in the 10th round. He hurt Donald with the right hand at the end of the last round and now has done it again in the first 30 seconds of the 10th. Left hand lands for Holyfield. Crowd chanting, holy, holy, holy. Trying to bring back one more great moment from the fan favorite fighter.
And that's why he believes in those one punches, because he knows that could end it.
Well, it's virtually inconceivable that anything other than a knockout would win for Holyfield now.
And that's why he's not trying for nothing other than a knockout. He wasn't trying for nothing but a knockout from round 1. If you look at it from the way we look at it as a fighter, you know Holyfield is not going to outbox Larry Donald. So he shouldn't come in here to try to outbox him, and he didn't. And you got to credit him for that.
Now Donald begins to reassert his technical mastery. And Holyfield, as has been the case for several years, stops throwing after the 2 big flurries. Three times in his career, Evander Holyfield has knocked out opponents in the 10th or 11th round.
That was after beating him up for 8 or 9 rounds.
And Jim, I really don't want to say this because I really love Holyfield, to be honest with you. And I don't want to see him stop. But one good body shot would end the fight here against Holyfield.
Come out, let's go.
Because he's dead tired.
Donald was effective throwing to the body in the early rounds. Since then, he's focused mostly on his jab and his right hand. It's been easy enough to hit Holyfield upstairs that he's pretty much forgotten the body attack.
And throughout his career, he's been a predominantly head puncher.
As frankly, most fighters are.
2 rounds left.
It's mostly the good ones who go to the body.
Come on, get the arms down.
Like me, that's why my album's called A Body Head Bangers Volume 1.
You have to knock him out. You hurt this man. Every time you throw a combination, you hit him and you hurt him. But then you quit. You got to stay up close. You got to keep jabbing him in the chest.
How you feeling, Evander? Lift your left hand.
Oh.
Left hand.
You understand? Come on, listen to me. Come on, baby. You got to go to work now. You understand? Come on now. Look. Every time you hit this man, you hurt him. You understand? But you got to stay busy. You got to back him up. Back him up with the jab. You understand? Then you got to let both hands go. The right hand, the hook got to follow the right hand.
Here you see the overhand right by Evander Holyfield. Caught Larry standing there, froze him with a feint with the left hand, and came over the top with an overhand right. And that almost put Larry Donald on his back.
Amazing to the layman, Roy, that a feint like that will freeze a fighter long enough to land a punch that comes all the way over in that big an arc.
Those feints are deadly. You get a guy used to feinting him and he thinks you're not going to do nothing. Then all of a sudden you do something and he's still there thinking he wasn't going to do anything. And there's that right hand again by Larry Donald.
Larry Donald could dance the last 2 rounds away if he wanted and win this fight easily, but he had a plan, he stuck to it, he's sticking to it.
Larry Donald's new trainer has done good work with the Cincinnati fighter. This will rank among the best 12 rounds he's ever put together.
Good jab by Larry. Oh, good right hand by Larry. That hurt Holyfield.
Solid right hand to follow up as well.
My gosh.
Holyfield's big moments came at the end of the 9th and the beginning of the 10th. The 11th is another round that is all Donald so far.
Wait. Step back, please. Step back.
You probably can't knock Evander Holyfield out going exclusively to the head. I don't care how many times you hit him. That's why Tony mixed in the body attack so freely.
push him.
Hope Larry doesn't get too overconfident here and walk into one of those bombs.
Right, step back, step
I
back.
think he still has enough left
Well,
to do serious damage.
yeah, he has enough. He just did serious damage last round.
Watch your head, watch your head, watch your head, watch your head. Step back. Okay, watch your
If
head
you were in
inside.
Donald's corner, would you tell him to go out and fight the 12th exactly the same way he's fought the first 11?
If it worked for 11 rounds, why not continue the 12th?
Right, let him out. Step back, please. Let's go. Relax.
Like to prevent defense in football, sometimes when you try to stay away, that's when you get in trouble.
Yep.
Hey, man. Hey, listen to me, man. A cruiserweight came up and stopped this guy. This guy doing nothing. Why are you waiting? He's a heavyweight. Take this guy hard, man. Bang him. Take him out.
I let your head at your hands go. You have to keep stepping with the jab. Do you still believe you can win this fight? You believe it? Yeah. You gonna throw punches this round for me?
You got to throw combinations. The one punch will come with combinations.
Good stiff jab. You got to get.
You know what I mean?
Take it home. Come on.
Come on. We gotta go finish.
You got more energy.
All right.
Take it home. Come on.
William Holy.
You got to stay right there. You cannot back up from this man.
Put your hands up
let
and
your
punch.
hands go. You understand? This is it.
Holy, this is it.
This is it right here.
Ronnie Shields asked Evander Holyfield if he still believed he could win the fight, and it was hard to tell whether Holyfield put all of his massive heart behind the obligatory yes answer. Unless Holyfield lands 35 punches in the round, and he won't, he will finish this fight landing fewer punches than in any other 12-round fight of his career ever charted by CompuBox. And Larry Donald feels totally in charge.
And he is. He has the right to feel in charge. Now he's fighting the fight he should fight right here. He's not trying to stand there no more. He's using his old legs, fighting like the old Larry Donald, and that's what he should be doing. No sense in taking stupid chances. Evander just can't pull the trigger right now.
The corner wanted bunches of punches. Evander's probably going to throw about 20 of them in the round.
Ground behind your head. You're pulling him down. Let's go.
If you ask if you might be looking at the last round of Evander Holyfield's career, my guess is he'll say, no, I'm going to keep fighting. Just a wild guess.
I think he'll say yes.
You do?
Yeah.
We shall see. You'll be the one who puts the question to him, Larry.
He's still one of the greatest to ever do it in my book.
Well,
Absolutely.
how many fighters have supported the sport the way he did through hard times? I mean, Evander Holyfield emerged from the light heavyweight division to win the cruiserweight championship, then unexpectedly win the heavyweight championship of the world, and then to be the most active, the most visible, the most marketable fighter in the sport on a continuous basis over the course of the next 8 or 10 years. It was a brilliant run.
Yes, it was, and that was a good hook he just tried.
Let's go.
He fought everybody and fought them again if he had to. Fought the biggest guys, took the biggest punches, kept coming back.
Never was embittered by criticism, never fought petty wars with mass media, never ducked a hard question. He's been a man in and out of the ring.
Let's go.
Oh, good shot. That's why you can't sit back and wait on him.
Don't push him. Don't push him.
So he got in the one, but by and large, Larry Donald does what he wants through most of the 12th in sending Evander Holyfield to yet another loss. Or so it appears.
Given all of the fighters we have tonight, he's like an old Rolls Royce in a used car lot full of Chevys and Fords.
And because of what he's doing to himself at the end of his career, the record looks increasingly less impressive.